and welcome to the SecurityOrb Show. My name is Caleb Charles, your host. The SecurityOrb Show is a show about information security, information privacy, and internet safety, and the contributors within that space. Today, I'll be speaking with Alex Heid, a member of the HackMiami organization, as well as the HackMiami Security Conference that will be coming up on May 15th through the 17th in Miami, Florida. Alex is also the Chief Research Officer at Secure Scorecard, and we'll have an opportunity to talk to him about his organization, the upcoming conference, and threats in the information security world when we come back. SecurityOrb is at www.securityorb.com. And as stated, we have a very exciting guest today, Alex Heid, again, who is part of the HackMiami team, as well as the Miami Hack Conference that will be coming up on May 15th through the 17th, and also the Chief Research Officer at Security Scorecard. Hello, Alex. How you doing?
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Hey, no problem. I'm happy to have you on. It's been a while. We've talked about this, but we were finally able to get it to happen today. A few days, in fact, 8 days and 15 hours before the HackMiami conference.
Yeah, it's coming up quick.
Yeah. So, if you can, just a couple of background questions. We met a few years ago at a security conference in Miami, and at that particular time we were talking about your HackMiami group. If you can, could you kind of provide some background on the mission and the whole organization pertaining to HackMiami?
Sure. Well, we started off as a hackerspace meetup group where we essentially would just meet up on college campuses and in pizza restaurants and discuss our ongoing research. But when we started out, we were doing a lot of research into web application security and malware research, and that was back in 2010. And from that very informal gathering, we essentially kind of grew into a full consultancy where we offer penetration testing services, forensic services. A lot of us, we've gone on to work in the various Fortune 500 corporations, and we've all kind of circled back to do consulting with HackMiami. And in addition to that, we also kind of started up doing these annual conferences, where the first one we did was in 2013, and right out of the gate it got into the Rolling Stone magazine, and it's essentially kept the momentum from there, and from just a group of people meeting up to discuss information security stuff for fun, it's essentially evolved into a full-fledged consulting corporation with an annual conference.
Yeah, and one of the things that I remembered when we talked in 2010 or 2011 was some of the community service work that the HackMiami group was doing. If you could kind of elaborate on that, and if that's still part of your mission in 2014, 2015.
Oh, well, in a sense, we definitely still have a very community-oriented outlook. Back when we first established ourselves, we actually established as a nonprofit organization, and our main objectives were 100% community-based outreach. Some of the things we did early on was we would try to procure servers that were donated from local companies and get them into schools that did not have the proper networking infrastructure that they needed. And then eventually, as time went on, and we restructured ourselves as a regular corporation, we still do those types of things. But a lot of our community service outreach now is mostly just kind of speaking to the overall general internet community as to ways to stay safe online, ways to avoid becoming the victims of identity theft and banking fraud and so forth.
Sounds real good, very good. And another key thing that I remember seeing is that there's a Hack Gotham entity. If you could kind of talk a little bit about that. How does it affiliate with the HackMiami, and what's the overall goal with Hack Gotham, and is there more hack communities looking to come up in the near future?
Yes, and the answer to that question is definitely. And one of the things, since HackMiami had expanded so great and had such resonance within the people of South Florida, as people started to move out of Florida and go on to do other things, we encouraged them to start setting up hack chapters within their city. And the chapters could be essentially called whatever they want. A lot of they've chosen Hack Amsterdam and Hack Gotham, and they're just kind of using the Percent 27 logo just to kind of identify solidarity with the HackMiami culture. And Hack Gotham is essentially starting up along the same lines as HackMiami did as a meetup group. Our meetup is pushing probably about 100 people now within just a couple months, and every time we have a meeting, it's pretty packed to the room's pretty much standing room only. And we also have another chapter that we've had a few meetings with in Amsterdam called Hack Amsterdam, and also same thing. Very, very good response. The Dutch hacking community's got a very active community, and they've been participating.
Yeah, sounds great. Sounds great. And with me being originally from New York, the Hack Gotham is one of the events that I'm looking to hopefully try to participate in the near future.
Yeah, we hold those every month, so definitely hope to see you come out to one of those.
Yes, definitely. So this brings me to the main reason why I wanted to bring you on is the third HackMiami conference. Before we even talk about the conference, what was the motivation to even start this event 3 years ago? I mean, and was it something that you guys just decided that you wanted to do, or did it take some time before it actually came to fruition?
Well, it was kind of something that we've always kind of thought that it would be neat to do, especially when we saw all these other information security conferences popping up, regional ones. And by 2013, I guess you could say there was just a critical mass within the group of everybody who is showing up. And they just kind of essentially demanded, like, hey, we're coming up, we're showing up every 2 weeks, we're doing all this cool stuff. Let's do a conference and have people from all over the country come out. And we're also having people from all over the country and all over the world show up to our meetings as well. Just when they're passing through town and there's a meeting going on, most people would stop by, like a lot of people do with hackerspaces as they travel. And based on that, we were like, we should set something formal up and do an annual conference. And the first one, we did it as an experiment, and it went so well that we actually locked ourselves into doing it every year after that.
Yes. And you are listening to SecurityOrb, the SecurityOrb Show, and I am speaking with Alex Heid of HackMiami. HackMiami has an upcoming conference that will be held in the Holiday Inn Miami Beach Oceanfront, which is located at 4333 Collins Avenue in Miami. And the date of the event will be on May 15th through the 17th. So, Alex, if you can, I see that you have a very impressive list of speakers. If you could tell me, the process with the call for papers, was it a hard process? Did you have a lot of selections, as well as the keynote speakers? If you could just kind of talk to us a little bit about the speakers.
Yeah. With the speakers, we've got a pretty great lineup this year. We've got our keynote is Dave Manier from Team Cymru, who's one of the top the threat research intelligence firms in the world, and we've been very fortunate with speakers because essentially all of ever since the first conference, all of our submissions have been organic. We haven't really had to solicit anything beyond just putting a listing on the page, and we'll get some basically top submissions to the point where we're really having to pick the best of the best, and our criteria is that we don't accept vendor talks. If you want to work for a company and represent a company at the conference, that's great. But the presentation needs to have the person watching the presentation come away with something that they've learned, something that they can go and sit in their computer and do something more than they could have done the hour before they watched the presentation. And we definitely have a place for vendors to participate. We've got some great sponsors. Of Fortinet sponsored, Security Scorecard is sponsored, Team Company is sponsored. But all the presentations that are going to be given are real meat and potatoes, how to hack and how to defend talks.
Yeah, and no security or hacker conference would be complete without the Capture the Flag, the CTF event. And I see that you have a command and control event by Porn Machine. If you could kind of give us a little information on that particular event.
Yes. The Command and Control CTF, which was designed by Rod Soto of the Miami Porn Machine, it essentially is a capture the flag game that we've been designing out and building out over the last few years. And it's what makes it unique is it's actually got a very intricate storyline that goes along with the CTF. So it's not just here's a bunch of servers, take them over. The story of the game is that you're essentially a hacker that's been hacking both terrorists and organized crime, and you get caught by both organized crime and the government. And you have to go work for the government and hack a bunch of different nation-based servers of different flavors of operating systems from those nations, and then take them over with SCADA attacks and pivot onward. And there's the story is rife with conspiracy theories and politics and current events, and it's a very, very fun game. And all the attacks are real, all the exploits are real, and it's more than just being a computer game. It's actually like an immersive experience with music and video and all that stuff.
That sounds real interesting. Yeah, I didn't realize it was to that particular level, but I have to look into that a little more.
Yeah, it's definitely evolved over the last few years and become very refined.
Right. And also, one of the key things is that I noticed that there is some training being offered. If you could provide us some information on what training is being offered and how someone who's listening to this show can maybe sign up for the training if they are interested in it.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. The training class that we have this year is being given by Rod Soto, who's the author of the Command and Control CTF, and his course is called Pwn the Enterprise. And it's essentially from beginning to end, reconnaissance to maintaining persistent access and data exfiltration, on what the ways the attacker actually looks at an enterprise organization and decides they want to get in. So any enterprise, there's many different moving parts, and every single one has to be locked down. And this course shows you how to find those loose door handles or those slightly cracked windows to be able to go in, do what needs to be done, and then also be able to lock it down when you're finished. And at the end of the course, there's also a custom CTF that's based on the information gleaned from the course. So the whole day would be training and how to, and then the last bit of the class is a live mini CTF that's based on what was learned.
Interesting, yeah, that sounds real interesting. So tell me, with the training, the events, the keynote speakers, as well as the conference speakers, what is the overall, what's the word I'm looking for? What is the overall feeling or the overall outcome that someone who attends the Miami Hack Conference, what would you like them to leave with after the conference is over?
Well, essentially, after they leave this year's conference, they'll probably have a very different understanding as to how the internet works, and how it's going to be changing in the very near future. We've got some talks on biometric implants. We got some talk on the Internet of Things and how all that is creating all these new vectors for attacks. So people are probably going to be seeing IP addresses in place they didn't.
And you have just been listening to the SecurityOrb Show with Alex Heid of HackMiami. Again, if you're interested in purchasing tickets, go to HackMiami.com, and tickets are still available for training as well as the conference. So again, thank you for listening to the SecurityOrb Show. We are at SecurityOrb.com, Facebook, and Twitter. And until the next time, be safe on the information highway.